Okay, hello, hello, hello. Alright, my microphone was disconnected. Hello. I hope you guys are doing well. Seems like we've got some exciting things to talk about. I saw that recently Steelwool posted, so I wanted to talk about the teasers, which it does seem at this point... Steelwool did this thing with Help Wanted 2, where they set up a bunch of different questions and Easter eggs, where they asked you to identify a part of an image of what the full image was, and it ends up that a lot of those correlate to Secret of the Mimic and games we didn't even know about at the time. So seems like Steel might be doing the same thing here. They're definitely acting very suspicious. We'll talk about that, and then we'll hopefully get into some other games as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think we are gonna finally get into Commuter. Is that Commutator? I think that's how it's pronounced. That's the main game that was a part of the visual novel that we got into last time. So yeah. All right, let me switch over. Hello, hello. It is me. It is my face. And my very unshaven beard. I am very aware that my beard is messy and needs to be shaven. As well as my hair is frizzy and needs nicer shampoo. I bought shampoo, but it ends up it's doo-doo. It's bad. Synthetic crap. It's just okay. It is what it is. It was not cheap. So, I don't know. Okay, so... Alright. Gonna look at Steelwool's socials on X / what it actually is, which is Twitter, and go through some of the posts that they've been posting lately, because they've been posting some rather interesting things. I'm going to be trying to keep up with chat, and also have a little bit of a question and answer set up with what you guys think the teasers mean, so that way you guys can come up with some theories, which hopefully we get some theories together, because that would be quite fun. I'm trying to decide if we want to do this, I'm trying to decide if I want to do this on the Insanity board. I don't know. We shall see. But I hope you guys are doing well. It is a weird time to stream. I understand it is Monday night. But we're going to see what Steel has for us, because I've looked at these teasers, but I want to look at them a little bit closer. Okay, so the first teaser that people were saying was definitely something, right? Was this one right here, which is diabolical because it says right here, no secrets, no hidden clues, no teasers, no countdown. Just 3 differences, probably. How fast can you spot them? And people were over-analyzing this to death, right? They were like, chica? Also, these are like textures. These are like not found textures almost. It's kind of weird. You got like a pool area. It's kind of weird. You know, seems like to me that we're probably getting some screenshots from potentially development of Security Breach 2. That's my hope. Then obviously we had 4th of July, which is notable because Security Breach actually happens, or is set in July 4th. Video game, people were looking at this. Yeah, am I crazy? There is like something there, but I really don't think this is like too much. But it is interesting that it's like a pixel game, but that is kind of a classic arcade style to go for. But this one was the one that popped up that I think drew the most eyes. And the one that we'll talk about today primarily. Let me make sure that my audio and everything is good. It seems like it probably is. Or if my balancing is good. Let me see, where's the sound at. That's okay. This one. Alright, so we have, interestingly enough, the paneling. Is that the same as... Okay, it's not, but it has similar texturing. Yeah. Okay, so... Here we go. So these glasses, obviously, people are like, look at this. This is obviously Monty's glasses, which the star ones obviously are. But I will also mention, I think these are very much like Edwin's, right? Edwin's squarish glasses. Is that a bit of a stretch? Probably, but that's kind of what you have to do with these. They don't really give you too much, so you have to speculate with them. Play with them a little bit, you know? I had a picture of Edwin. That's not what I wanted. Why would it do this to me? I don't want the bare UTF-16 code for it. I want the actual image with photo. Get close, obviously. No, yeah, those are like kind of very similar to Edwin's glasses there. They are kind of shaped very strangely, so I mean it would, I feel like, be fitting. Interesting. So you have like Monty's, you have Edwin's glasses. I wonder what the differences are. Interesting. There's like a lot of options. Pink, yellow, yellow, white, pink, yellow. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, this is white instead of orange. Like the mimic's eyes. Are those different? No. Are there more glasses here than here? No. Wait. So one of them is that this is like white instead of orange like the other one. Interesting. Wait, is there something in the reflection there? Okay, hold on. Maybe this is really stretching here. Let's see. Where'd it go? Okay, there's a lot of compression, so... Huh. Okay, there is some, like, reflections here, but I'm seeing, like, a... It looks like a structure, but... Like, immediately when looking at this, it looks like mountains. Maybe that's just a lighting thing? Because I'm looking at this. Probably nothing. But again, we are grasping at straws here. There definitely is like a reflection, isn't it? Oh, welcome, Donnie. Welcome, welcome. I think those are glasses for the animatronics. One is Monty's glasses. Maybe they are going on the ending where Monty is the star. Just speculation, could be wrong. Are you talking about the oh my gosh, the Living Tombstone song? Yeah. It's interesting because... Hold on 1 second. It's interesting because I was looking at the squarish glasses, and those are very similar to Edwin's glasses. I just showed like a 1-by-1 comparison to that, and that's pretty interesting, right? So I mean, like, that's something. So we have like Monty's glasses, Edwin's. I wonder who's, because like there's a couple variations. There's like the half ones, which I'm trying to think of like who else wears. I know there's an image of Fiona and Edwin, and Fiona is wearing glasses. What glasses is she wearing in that one? Let's see, Edwin and Fiona. Picture, secret, Sodom, photos. Which one is it? Yeah, there's that one, but she isn't wearing glasses. Exactly. There's like one that's like a wedding photo, I think. Trying to remember. Not in that one. She's wearing like fun Halloween glasses. Which one? Which one? Halloween. Oh yeah, those aren't... Well, kind of, actually. I don't know if there's a clearer picture of it, maybe? I don't know. It is interesting, though. Okay. So there's something here, I don't really know how to, like draw any conclusions from that. There probably isn't really much to get from there, but that is interesting. Okay. Going back to the post. So the difference is there's one like this is white instead of orange. But what other differences are there? Probably like a glass pointing the wrong direction or something. Interesting. The carpeting is very security breaches, which is fun. This is making me wonder, was there ever any mentions of like there being like pools in the Tales of the Pizza Book series? Because I don't remember, I was thinking about it earlier, and I don't remember there being any mention specifically of like a pool room. Not to be confused with like the back rooms, but yeah, interesting. Like, it isn't much to go off of, but it is fun. And it does seem like security breach, so like if this is a teaser, I don't think this is going to be like a Fredbear's game or FNAF World. Henry, welcome. How are you doing? And then obviously we had this one yesterday, which a lot of people were saying was like a kind of, you know, very cheeky way for Steel Wool to be like, hey, we're under an NDA, we can't say anything. I don't know if that's the case. But we'll see. Obviously, that's in reference to July 4th. I think that's going to be the big announcement for the anniversary. Security Breach 2. I am very excited if it is. And if it ends up that they're going off the Pizzaplex from the books, and that the big like reveal is that the books were a teaser for both things in the past and the future, I think that would be very nice, right? That would be a nice send-off to everything. It's going to be so epic for real. No, I'm excited. I genuinely am. I've been wanting a Security Breach too because I want Steel Wool to cook. I want them to take all the lessons that they've learned from the like last couple of years, because they have been learning, right? I mean, I know they've received a lot of criticism. A lot of it's deserved. But for me, I think that Steelwool's approach is not to linger, right? They can't really, especially whenever you have a massive project and not very many people. Like Steelwool just had a massive layoff due to the lackluster, performance of Help Wanted 2, which they were expecting to do very well because of Help Wanted, and due to that, they had to fire like half of their staff. And that's just like, if you look at the gaming's industry right now, that's just kind of how it is, right? And I don't, like, it sucks for the people that obviously got laid off, but I think that if you look at things like indie games that are coming out right now, or Claire Obscure, you don't need 90 people to make a video game. That's just the fact. It is nice to have that many to be able to push out something quickly and fast, but the truth is, right, like with Security Breach 2, you need good people. The people that are gonna work well together, that are going to have that, synchronicity, I guess, which sounds sickening and very corporate, very fun. But you do have to think about these things when you're running a game development company. Something I don't know anything about because I don't run a game development company, but it is something that we just have to lend a little bit of forgiveness and mercy for. I think a little bit, just a little bit, right? Although, yes, we can be a little bit upset that there is no patch for Secret of the Mimic to fix all the VR stuff going on, the shenanigans. Slippy, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Pumpkin. Hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah, so not really too much teasers as far as like this information goes. I don't know what else to like draw from this. Besides obviously like there's a pool room, which is interesting. I wonder like what location that could be, and like what if we're thinking like horror locations, what they're gonna do with that. I think that Steelwool just seems scared to show anything off. Well, I think it's less that Steelwool is scared to show anything off, and I think it's more so that Scott isn't ready to. And something that they talked about in their interview is the whole like concept to them. Their philosophy is lightning in a bottle. They want people to be excited, and if they just dropped a video right now of a teaser trailer right now, yeah, people would freak out, but I think that you wouldn't have as much attention as if it was something like Scott posting a teaser on the anniversary, or say a state of play. I think that they have to be very, very specific with where they announce these projects, like PAX West, right? That's a perfect example of something that's coming up that's a big event for them. Because it ends up, Steelwool's a very small company, right? They're a company that makes about $3 million a year, and that's from FNAF, right? So they aren't a very profitable company at the moment, unfortunately. That's just the facts. And with that, they don't have a massive marketing budget, right? Their resources are poured into making the games. So, yes, they aren't great at marketing, but that's because they don't have money for marketing. Because it costs money to run stuff like this. And I mean, they're doing what they can with the money that they have. I'm thinking the end of Help Wanted 2 as well. Teaser with sunglasses because Helpy is going on vacation. Oh, wait, hold on, actually. What sunglasses is he wearing? Sunglasses, let's see, Help Wanted 2, Helpy, sunglasses. Does it show anything? I'd have to look at gameplay to see kind of like what kind it is. But that's interesting. That's an interesting call out. That makes sense. I think Scott doesn't want any issues with this new game because those Security Breach 1 trailers, this what didn't even make it into the game. That is true, yeah. I think that Scott, too, is in the middle of a transitional period as far as, like, quality control, because it is very, very difficult switching artists, especially one that you've used for a very long time, and having to like completely pivot, find someone new, which thankfully it seems like they have for like the covered art and stuff, and somebody who's really freaking good, by the way. Like, my gosh, those covers for the recent like graphic novels are fantastic, right? But I do think that like somebody who is definitely very, very involved in the artistic, not only that, storyboarding, right? So it's like very, very important job, and having to, over the last few years, find somebody different for that job, right? We all know who I'm talking about. It's very, that must have been very difficult, right? Especially with working so closely, you know? So, I don't know. A lot of things, a lot of stuff, right? That just, I feel like we don't really think about as a community. And it is honestly astounding that we've had so many games come out in the last few years, including 2 movies. I mean, a third one coming out probably next year. That's pretty insane. And I think with us waiting so long, it's gonna be worth it. I think we have a lot in the pipeline that's gonna start pumping out, and I think it's gonna be really exciting. I think we're gonna start feeling the 2023 hype again, when Ruin and Help Wanted 2 came out at the same time, and like we had that big resurgence with like the movie and stuff. I think that's gonna happen again next year when you have like FNAF 3 coming out, which is very fun. I'm very excited about that. With like the teasing of like chapter 13 and stuff, it's very clear that they're cooking. I don't know what they're cooking, but that's kind of what makes this exciting, is the fact that like we don't know, and all we can do is speculate, right? I know it gets a little bit tiring because we want to know, but like, guys, I feel like it's gonna be worth it. I feel like what they have cooking is good. If Secret of the Mimic is any level of indication for the quality of storytelling that we're going to be getting in the future, I am very hopeful, right? I'm very excited. Yeah, so I'm genuinely hyped. So I hope that is something that gets rewarded. You know, I hope we get 2 games. That'd be great. You know, 1 game would be good too, but I think that having a little smaller game, I think FNAF will definitely be it. 5 Laps at Freddy's. 5 Laps at Freddy's. I think FNAF will definitely be one. Survival Crew is probably coming out. I know that I did a whole stream going over the new teasers that were found from like a year ago, but it seems like the production of it is much further along, probably now. Yeah, I agree with you about the marketing and just not wanting to disappoint the community. Yeah, I think too also, like, there's a lot of logistical things. Like, Scott wanted to do an ARG for, like, Into the Pit, right? And I know a lot of complaints have come up, like, why doesn't Scott do an ARG? The last time they tried to do an ARG, the community crashed the server so hard that they literally were, like, they would have to get an expansion for their servers in order to contain us as the community. So I feel like Scott can't do an ARG because the amount of people, it's so much more than they had back in 2015 and 2014, whenever a lot of the main ARG stuff was going on, or 2016 actually. Yeah, you know, so it's like it sucks because it's like, yes, I do want it, but like, look, the last time they tried, it was not good. And it ended up being just disappointing because it's like, that's so much lore locked behind a closed door, you know? Yeah, it is fun. I wish that the amount of people that love the games actually played them, because I feel like we wouldn't have as many issues. I know like the big thing with Help Wanted 2 was that it wasn't cross-platform, that it didn't come out on PC. But look, the Help Wanted 2 port for that game is probably like genuinely one of the best ports they have ever done, and it's genuinely good. I feel like in some ways it makes some of the mini games a lot easier, but I really had a good time with the port, and I played it in VR too. But like, I think that comparing it to Help Wanted, it's really disappointing that it didn't do as well as the first one. It just frustrated me. Try to play Security Breach in Ruin. And that's the thing, Donnie. I think that a lot of the issues we've been having over the last few years with, like, the absolute hype that was Security Breach and then the staggering decline has been due to the fact that Security Breach was a hot mess, right? Just to be honest. And I think that is the unfortunate result of the mistake that was made. Like, Ruin, for me, is one of my favorite games out of the series, besides Secret of the Mimic. Like, I love Ruin so much. I know a lot of people, like, really like that game a lot, and I'm one of those. But, like, I agree, I like Help 1 and 2. Yes, oh yes, it was. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it was such a comeback from Security Breach, but I don't think it was enough for the OG fans, the ones that had been here since the beginning. A lot of them stayed, but a lot of them left, and I think that's part of the just they got older, they grew up, they were like, all right, I'm gonna go play other games now. And it's just kind of the sad reality. I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of playthroughs of people being like, coming back to it years later and be like, you know, Ruin, what's that? And it's like, oh man, you missed the best part, you know? So it's an unfortunate reality, but it is one that is one Stillwell has to really address. Yeah, so I don't know. Hi, what's Amato? Welcome. Have you been in here before? That username looked familiar, but maybe not. Not trying to put you on the spot or anything, I'm just curious. I don't know. Maybe not. First time chatter? Potentially. But welcome in regardless. Hope you are doing well. Yes, sir. Oh, very nice. I think that Secret of the Mimic was great. They actually put a story together, but I do feel like something is missing. But overall, it was probably their best game. If you're referring to... So, one of the things that I think that Steelwool is relying a little bit too heavily on is repetition whenever it comes to the minigames. Like, people really liked some of the minigames from Help 1 and 2, and then they proceeded to include them in everything else. Like the ball toss minigames and the Bazzer Blast. Those were really fun, but now they're like in every game. Like in Secret of the Mimic, they reused those games. Even in like the Survival Crew, the screenshots that we looked at, they had some of those. So it's like, it's almost getting a little bit tiring of those kind of games, and they're a little bit tedious. They are fun, right? But those weren't as fun as I think the ones from Help Wanted. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious what they're going to be doing. We played those last time, yeah. But I think that if they refine the gameplay to make it really fun, like I think that's one of the big things, and they add the level of challenge that is like doable, right? It's not like a huge gatekeeping or like gate lock to anybody, but something that requires a level of progression and like skill. I think it would be really cool, and I think Security Breach 2 offers a lot of potential for that. The minigames, because I think that's one of the biggest thing is like for like Markiplier, right? The reason he said there was something missing is because there wasn't that level of progression and that level of skill needed. Because if you watch a lot of Markiplier's gameplay, some of the stuff that he really enjoys are things that have a progression system to it, that you have to up your game and find strategies and things that work, and it feels reactive to you, right? And it's actively challenging you, right? So I think that's one thing that like FNAF is, it's become more of a walking sim in a lot of ways. But overall, I mean, I don't have any issue. I think the survival horror aspect of it, you know, can work. I just think it has to be done well, which in Secret of the Mimic, to be fair, I think it is done pretty well for what the gameplay is. Yeah. Do any of you guys have like a topic or anything that you guys want to talk about in regards to the teasers or like in general? Because as far as the teasers go, I don't think I have really anything else to say about them, you know, but I pulled up my insanity board. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to talk about, because if not, then I probably will potentially move away from FNAF, and we'll play our indie game that I'm very excited about, Commuter. Which, guys, stay for that, because I don't know. Based on the visual novel prequel we played, the writing seems very good, and I'm very intrigued by the concept. It seems like it's going to be a good time. So, don't get scared off by moving away from FNAF. But if there is something you guys want to talk about, I would be happy to oblige. I still haven't done Moon.exe. I still haven't done this section. I know, it's just daunting, okay? I had all the transcriptions for it. The transcripts for it. I have all the images that I can get off the wiki. I could do it, but oh boy, it's just like, it's so much work. There's so much dialogue in Moon.exe, but like, I really want to do analysis for the dialogue, because it's so interesting. Oh, they still making books? I can't remember. I mean, there are books coming out. They're like the graphic novel ones, but there's nothing like newish. We have like Encyclopedia 2.0 that's coming out. That'll be interesting. But besides that, I don't think we're getting much else in the book department that I know of, at least, you know. I'm not sure. Especially the part with the animals. Did the parachute ending? Oh yeah. I think that what interests me most about Moon.exe is the symbolism and the fact that it implies that M1 killed David. I really find that interesting. Like, almost explicitly it tells us that M1 is the witch from the Candy Cadet story, with the witch in the Dark Woods, which implies a lot. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of subtext there that is like very, not really subtext, it's very overt, and it's just like, hey, this contradicts stuff in the main game. Have fun with that. You might have been lied to, right? Because it's like, it sets up M1 as this unreliable narrator, but most of the things that we find out are from M1. So it's like, how much of the story can we actually trust? I think that M1 definitely murdered David. Oh, 100% I agree. Plus, you have motive, you have time, and you have the place, right? The location all set up. She went to go get David. David died. The ball went out in the street. The whole time we were wondering, like, where was the mimic during all that? But it ends up that, like, also in Nexi, right? In Nexi, the story that on the cover has a picture of the doll with a pearl necklace that is exactly like Fiona's. And in that story, the girl robot that is supposed to be a mirror image of the girl that bought it, her mother, who left her, pushes a kid into the road on purpose. And in the original version, he dies. And one of the mothers of one of the girl's friends gets charged with, like, vehicular manslaughter. It's crazy. But then in the actual version, the real version, the official one, that wasn't the mistaken one from the Audible book, it has a different ending that still includes the doll pushing a kid into the road. But that parallel feels so interesting and intentional to me. I think that M1 definitely murdered David. Oh yeah, we already read that. Yeah, it is very interesting. I definitely think there's a lot of interesting parallels. I think that what Scott did with Tales is that he told the Mimic story in pieces and scattered them across the books. And I think that both the past and the future, like that, the way with the books, I think that the books are puzzle pieces that were meant to take and apply to both predictions of what's to come and in the past. I feel like when they repeat things in FNAF, it definitely is supposed to mean something. No, and they repeat stuff a lot in the books. A lot. But what is the Mimic's motive? So M1's motive, I believe, is much deeper than just being a rogue AI that's determined that it needs to like kill David in order to replace it with like a one that's gonna last forever. I think it's way deeper than that. I think M1 isn't actually an AI. I think that M1, to me at least, okay, I think M1 is the breach between Fright and Tails. In Fright, you have a very different monster from Tails, but I actually have a feeling they're one and the same. I think Eleanor and M1 are the same creature. I think they are two sides of the same coin. When you have Frights and Tails, the first story of Tales of the Pizzaplex, the book series, specifically makes the point to connect it back to the previous series. And I think in doing so, it establishes that one continuity is Frights and Tails. They are in the same continuity. And that they're meant to tell us that whatever happened, that string of events, is the same string of events that leads us to that Pizzaplex. And I think that if we look and we get the same Pizzaplex in the sequel, well, we can fill in the blanks with those pieces that were given. Katrina, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Let me catch up here. But let's see, also, do you think that Fiona was made into the Mimic after giving birth of David, or after the fire at Fall Fest? Eleanor and M1, that's an interesting take. Well, okay, so I have a weird theory. Okay, this is a crackpot fan fiction, okay? So prepare yourself. So we get a message from M1 in the basement that talks about missing memories, and specifically a memory bank error. And the memory is very interestingly worded, and it has two different meanings that you can kind of glean from it. The first is, it is very eerily similar to the canon from Frights, or not Frights, from Tales of the Pizzaplex, the one where Fiona dies in childbirth, right? There were complications. And it, like, the way that it phrased itself, it feels very much like that would make sense, right? There was complications, but instead of dying, in this canon, right, the canon of the games, Fiona survives the complications. But also, in the context of this being a memory error from M1, it feels as if the process of creating M2 was almost comparable to childbirth. That there was a physical component to it that caused David to exist, at least in that form, but there was something that went wrong that caused his code to be unfinished. And it's very telling that Edwin didn't make David intentionally, right? I think after the big fight with M1, there was a very much a decisiveness with Edwin not wanting to make M2, right? But instead, I think that Edwin was very, very desperate to get away from the Fazbear contract. I think that he wanted to create a product around the M2 concept, right? And we know that while he didn't create M2, he did follow the Mimic's instructions to build the computer, which is Mexis, right? So he made Mexis as a security system. And he was very much in the process of creating the Cradle, though it seems like that even that was like partially unfinished. But he sacrificed everything for that. If you look in his house, you can see that he was destroying his house to get all of the equipment, all of the things into the Cradle. And the amount of energy that the Cradle requires is staggering, which is why he was working on a new power device. So he was working on a new power device in order to make the system that he was creating more efficient so that it would stop the spikes in electrical that he complains about in the basement. But here's the thing, right? We know that he's working with Remnant because the recycling plant includes things that are outside of his own factory, his own place. He talks about it that it's from anywhere, and it's all things that are used, old, that have history, metals, right? Precious metals specifically. So we can glean from that we don't know what's coming in. So a lot of that could be haunted material that's going to infect everything else. So Edwin brought a bunch of remnant unintentionally into the factory and began to heat it up, which we know is what causes remnant to become more empowered, right? More powerful. It creates its own charge effectively, and becomes its own power source. So, with all of that in mind, right? So, Edwin was using remnant to power the cradle, which is fascinating. And it seems that M1 was using this in order to create the inventory system, right? The interactions that we have with the inventory system, where putting in an item collects that data and puts it into the game. In reality, it's collecting and associating that with memories. Because the way that it works, and what we established here, this is my insanity board, this is where I collect all my theories. The idea of the void that I have created, what I call void theory, is the concept that in the books and in the games as well, there are several points where you have very thematically similar places that are all pitch black, are all dark, and you have a connection in the space that is connected to dreams, recreation of memories like Into the Pit, and spirits. So it's like the supernatural world. And what this space is, according to everything that I've figured out, is this is a space that is comprised entirely of memory. And remnant is the neural network, like the interconnective tissue of what connects memory to the real world, right? Because again, memory is connected to the experience that was associated with it, which connects it back to the memory that was experienced, right? So you have a reaction to that ties it to the supernatural, right? So you have these two realities that, with emotion, is the byproduct of a recorded event, effectively, right? And why that matters so much is that with the memory plushes, if you look at the dialogue from Moon.exe, those all have memories associated with them between Fiona, the real Fiona, and David, or Edwin and David, right? So Fiona / F10N4 is taking memories to recreate the personality of David. That's what you're doing. When you're collecting all the items and getting them all together, you're creating informational data that creates a neural network that recreates enough data to simulate David's personality. And when you lock that in, what does M1 do with it? What's the cradle? It puts you to sleep, right? So we know symbolically, putting someone to sleep in this context isn't a good thing. It means that you're effectively repressing them and you're putting them into the supernatural place, the AR world as it is. So you're trapping them there, which is what you're doing to David, so he can't hurt anyone anymore. Or is it so that M1 can then finish what Edwin didn't, finish the program, and use David for whatever its original purpose was meant to do, which I believe was in order to create a full personality. And what I mean by that is Fiona, or like F10N4, was never truly able to simulate Fiona perfectly. There was gaps in her memory and her personality and her ability to be able to connect with people and to be human, right? And I think there's a little bit of resentment for that, as well as a want to be human, which is exactly the character you have with Eleanor. Eleanor isn't just, oh, look, it's a big bad person who's, looks like baby for some reason. No, Eleanor's very specific. And if you read in between the lines with the things that she says, she has a very clear moral code, strangely enough, that is built upon the idea that humans have something precious that they do not deserve and they do not respect, and they have to be judged for that. And so everything that is the reason that frights are morality tales is because Eleanor is trying to judge humanity for crimes of humanity, right? And you see this throughout, the fact that there is some sort of weird sense of morality that Eleanor has, especially if you look at interactions between her and Jake. And the whole reason that she wants Remnant and is dealing with Afton is so that she can become something more than what she is. So she can have life eternal, right? She wants life. And if you look at stories, one of the most telling stories in this theory is the Puppet Carver. The Puppet Carver, I think, is very explicitly related to Eleanor and her origin, with the Puppet Carver and the what's it called? The Fixer? The Fixer? Yeah, the Fixer, the person who, by making a deal effectively with the devil, you are given life, but you are required to fulfill some sort of deal, things that are unpleasant, but, you know, you get the satisfaction of being alive, effectively. Something that was non-living becomes living, right? And it's fascinating. It's so interesting. I love this part of the lore a lot. So, Eleanor is a shadow, and shadows are comprised of negative emotions. I don't necessarily believe that she is entirely that, but that is what she feeds upon. She feeds upon the negative emotions of human beings, specifically desire and dreams, because we know that wish fulfillment is like a big part of her character. She wants to effectively monkey's paw, in a way, right? Fulfilling something, but not in the way that you really wanted to, where there's like a catch to it. But yeah, so I think that, strangely enough, correlates to Eleanor's character very well, and F10 and 4's. And I think that if they are the same, it makes a lot of the parallels that have been drawn between the Mimic and other characters make a lot of sense. Like, why do you think Baby's been around so much? Or, you know, like all these other characters, or like Nightmare On, who's Nightmare. Seems a little weird, but it seems like it all connects together once you have this. This is a big one that I've been trying to organize. So yeah, that's my yap. That's my yap. This is also my yap. While there is a mention of mimic technology in FNAF 6, there is, in Sister Location, there's mentions of mimicking in, specifically, like, Funtime Freddy. Yeah, in Sister Location, which, funny enough, Funtime Freddy is the one animatronic that Eleanor uses. She also uses a Springtrap Chaser, which, funny enough, also uses mimicking technology, which is really interesting, right? Also, I don't know if this is probably the case, but it is interesting. Do you guys think that the Springtrap Chaser possibly could be the same thing as the thing that was birthed in the flesh? I thought about this, and I don't know if that is the case, but if it is, it would be so interesting, because it's like, that would explain why it has human eyes and, like, human teeth. I don't know, that's kind of a weird theory, but it is an interesting one. Like, if the Springtrap Chaser was just, like, the, in the flesh, the weird thing that was birthed, glitch trap. It probably is. It could be. It could be. Interesting. Okay. Alright. Let me go to, I've got a lot of Steam games that I have saved that I'm very curious about. But the one that we're going to check out today, and I don't know how much of it we're going to get into. My gosh, this has 99 achievements. What the heck? It's so much that we have not been able to know with so many unanswered questions and missing links. That is so true. I'm so excited to find out more, though. Okay. We are going to be playing a game. Here. 1 second. Called Commentator. And I'll fill you on in a little bit on what the background is, because the game that we played last time is a prequel to this, and it's like in a visual novel kind of sense. I think this is going to be much more text-based. It's DOS. It's like a DOS game. But it's going to be really cool. I'm very excited. It has some visuals that I'm like, ooh, that looks... So the premise of this game is wild. But it is the idea that, basically... Okay, I wrote an entire doc about this. Or at least I tried to. I got on this a little bit too late. So there's a lot of names and correlations that I'm like completely lost on. Because this is written in a different language. So the names are like not English. And I was trying to figure out what language it was. But we're just gonna have to deal because I'm gonna have to like just badly pronounce things. Also, I named us Freddy for some reason instead of Fazbear or like Faz. That was a crime. But the main the main premise of this game, which I am so excited to check out this game. Okay, so the main premise is that the United Federation of Oceans, okay? So stick with me. UFO, very cute, basically has graciously, out of the goodness of their heart, has offered for free a program that is going to replace everyone's minds. Not replace. It's basically like a neural link. Okay, so a commutator is this device that is going to allow people to be able to sense and to see the world. But the reason that they're doing that is that a bunch of terrorist groups effectively poisoned everyone using volcanoes. Okay, it sounds really weird, but stick with me here. Okay, so they ended up poisoning everyone and getting everyone contracted with this degenerative disease that causes immediate loss of sensory and sight. I think so. Hearing, it's something like with hearing and sight. That basically causes them to like lose everything, basically. So these are like, these neural links will allow them to be able to somewhat, in a new way, sense reality. There's a lot of weird stuff with like mentions of cults and the government doing this on purpose and potentially it not being really a terrorist attack, but something the government's doing for further control. The place that this is taking place is in Rune, which is the Republic of United Northern Empires. So this is like an alternate history. Let's just get into it. I don't know if this is going to be interesting to anyone, but I can tell you, I really enjoyed this. This felt like a very well-written game. Let me make sure that you guys can actually see it. Hopefully there are English variations. Okay. Is there sound? Is there music? Okay, English. Module Diagnostics, Community Investigation Division. Okay. I don't know if we're playing as the same person here. Can you read that? Well, I can read some of it. Can you guys read it all right? Because, okay, hold on. I don't know if there's any music. Let me see on here, because I'm not sure. Let me see. Yes, okay, that is good at least. Steam Deck, okay. Let me look at the store page, because I think this is like a very... Does that sound? Buy this bundle. Okay, we're gonna see. It's pretty silent right now. Enter as observer eel without signing in. So... Oh, interesting. To sign in, enter the UUID and password. I actually have that. Strangely enough. Okay, commuter apply. I wonder if that's going to connect our gameplay from the commuterapply.com game. That's so interesting if it does. Oh wait, I have already applied. By applying, okay, hold on. Disclaimer. There's like an ARG component to this. I just saw the stream. Did we get something new? Yeah, so there was like a little bit of a teaser. We looked at it earlier. My bad, sorry. Mildly missed it. Already registered. Well, yeah, I am. How do I sign in? Can I sign in here? Here. Let me see if I can get in through the email. Hold on one second, guys. Because this is important. I was not expecting this. Commuter. My computer's going wild. Oh my gosh. Okay. Return. How do I sign in? Actually. I bet there's a lot of secrets here. Identifier contact. Wait, hold on, actually. Maybe I just have to do this. Hold on. And then do this. Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't be that. That's already the case. Dang it, how do I log in here? Because I got in before. Also, it's all good. Continue what you're doing. What are you doing? We're playing Commutator, which is the game that I believe, I don't know if you were here for, because I don't think very many people tuned into it. Commuterapply.com is a visual novel that's a prequel to this game that we played earlier. I don't know if there's any music. If there's not any music in this game, we can just like play our own environmental atmospheric music. We'll figure it out. But this is a potentially really interesting game. Is this on stream? On Steam? It is. It is. So I'm trying to deal with the ARG elements to it because it's telling me to log in, but it says if you have a username for it, which we do because we applied for the website. So that's actually really cool. But I'm trying to figure out how to get back to. Let me see if I can do the like /login. Okay, yeah. Okay, I can. Very good. Yes. Okay, we can do that. That's good. Initialize link. Okay, we got it. Can we do that? All right. Password. What is my password? Well, I guess it would be the same as this. Let me put that in. The access void using game. I guess I would just use the same one, right? I don't want to do this wrong. Tater. Yeah, I really enjoyed the writing for that. It was very detailed and just like felt like very competent. Okay. Ah, yes. Okay, we got it. All right. Perception calibration. Before we connect you to another's mind, the system will take a baseline perception profile. Answer honestly. Are you afraid of the dark? Am I afraid of the dark? I used to be. I used to be very, very scared of the dark. But no, not really anymore. Pretty comfortable. Does it become hard to breathe in tight, enclosed spaces? Not really. I used to like really enjoy cave diving, but not like actual cave diving. I'm talking more so like wimpish. Like I used to like looking for cave entrances. That's basically it. Have you ever felt eyes on your back where no one was standing? Yes, actually. Are you certain that everything you see right now truly exists? No. Does the thought of being alone at the moment of death frighten you? It's the thought of being alone. Weirdly, no. Like, I don't feel any visceral reaction to that statement. I don't know why. I feel kind of at peace with that. I mean, I guess just, like, I don't want the burden. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. If you stop being yourself, would you notice in time? If I stopped being myself, like if I changed, I guess it depends on how like little of a change it would be, but I would say probably because I think about it a lot. So, okay, the eye never sees pure black. In darkness, it perceives a faint gray noise. Egen Gria? What is that? What is that? What is that? Egen, what does that mean? I'm sure that's an actual thing, but I'm like so interested. What does that mean? Okay, we're gonna play because I don't know if there is music and it's just not playing. But in the meantime, let's find some nice atmospheric music. Would you rather be alone than have to burden others or make them sad at that moment? I would say it's because I said that, but I'm like thinking about it now, and I'm like, I don't know if it's less about that and more so that I just don't think that, like, in the moment, I mean, I would be dead, so it'd be like, I can't really control it. It's not really in my hands, and it's not something I really worry about too much, you know? So it's like, I think that regardless, you know, the people who will be sad, you know? Because death is a sad thing, but you know, it's not all sad. Let's see. Okay, so guys, what music do we think? What would go well with this kind of game? Oh, guys, you know, oh, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what freaking music to play right now. Oh yeah, you guys are in for a treat. My computer's going wild, by the way. Okay, I know exactly what to play right now. There is a Deltarune track. Which one is it? Deltarune. What's the thing? Yeah, it's like you can't control it anyways. Yeah. OST. What's the first track that plays? It's like the Gaster track. Is it called another hymn? Is that the one? Okay, hold on. Well, I can't loop this one. Is there like an hour version of it? I'm trying to figure this out. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Why isn't my stuff hearing? Okay, there we go. Okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We got this. Why is my computer going so fast? Okay, Deltarune. Oh, this is gonna go so well with this. Stay here. If this is the song that I'm thinking of, okay. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. Alright. We're gonna think of this. Alright. The eye never sees pure black. In darkness, it perceives a faint gray noise. Pick one or two. You can change this in the pause menu. I don't know. You haven't played the game? Well. So, okay, what is this word? What is EIGENGRAU? Is a uniform dark gray background color that many people see in the absence of light. It is caused by spontaneous events in the retina that are indistinguishable from photon responses. Okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that in our document because that sounds quite interesting. Okay. So, interesting. Okay, this is one or two. I kind of like that one, the first one. Okay. Geometry, Arctic base. Bookshelf. Okay, map. Hold on. Text, full screen, blind eye simulator. Okay, so this is interesting. So within the context of the game, right? We are blind. We have lost all ability to see. Incoming connection. System. Establishing channel. Wait, hold on. That's important. Capture. Because, cipher. Because we need the email, and then we need the password. Fingerprint. Plus done. Curve, text. Okay, because you can input those into the commentatorapplio.com website and potentially get more information. Okay, shift starts in 10 minutes. Ready? Okay, can we say anything? Verifying host. Can we say? Okay, we can. Okay, we can respond. Wait. I can't go back. Lamov's in a bad way. You'll cover a couple of his tasks. Oh, it's not letting... Oh, interesting. I'm not typing this. Oh, fascinating. Okay, so... I can't... Interesting. Why is it coming out this way? It's like, guts. What am I saying? He's winding them around his fist so they don't fall out. What? Guts. He's winding them around his fist so they don't fall out. Oh, gosh. So, his organs are falling out? What the heck? Okay, hold on. Alright, this is gonna be a very cryptic game, guys. We gotta lock in here. So, I'm not typing any of that. That's doing it on its own, so that's probably some sort of, like, cipher? What is that? Can't override the quarantine protocol, same as COVID. Yeah, that's another thing, is, like, COVID is mentioned in the base game as well. Or the prequel. Door opens on a timer. We sit and wait. This is very cryptic. What's happening? By the way, the neat dick needs feeding. The neat nick. What is that? Oh, that's a lot of text. The guy who left behind some stuff said they don't need it. Nobody loves a womb that splits out recycler bots. What the heck? Want me to handle it on my shift instead. What? Something... This is weird. What is happening right now? They did say this is a psychological horror. So I wonder if the system is purposely censoring or like overriding, or if this is like bad translation. I want to make sure I screenshot these messages because I want to catch up on the codes, because I think these responses are going to tell us a lot. But I'm interested. I'm intrigued. What is going on? Empty rooms first, because the visual novel is much different from this. So, I think that it gave me a level of respect and intentionality for what they're doing here. It says only one door can be opened today. Once you're out of your cabin, I'll open the mop room. Then we move step by step. Questions? Oh. Oh, that's interesting. That was like... in-universe, they mistyped something. Interesting. So, we're seeing this be retranslated, but then we're using the same code as them. it makes me wonder, is the original code that's being translated, is this actually what they're saying? Because if not, that's really interesting. Also, one thing that I want to look at is crutch, and then put in the email that I found, which is looking at the messages that I have, because I have all these down here. Alright, let me look at those. Starts right here. Oh, that's not what I want. Open with a photo. Okay. So I wonder if this is gonna work here. Come on, stay. Let me just put it up here. So Comtech is the company that's making the inserts, and they basically said that what they did was they literally took dead brains and like did something to them to like make a small compact brain that they're inserting into the people as like an implant. So it's like, it's weird. Okay. Notification sent. Oh, okay, so I've got it. In queue. Connected. In version. Okay, and we have the same code there. Void. So I wonder what we can do with that information. Okay. Questions. When tigers take up smoking, that's when. And door opens in 2 minutes out. Session cleared. Host. System. Channel closed. Okay, let me get the final. Dang it. Okay. First observation session completed. So we have shower, sessions, cabin. Can we walk through this? Okay, I can kind of move. So I have like wardrobe, shower, inspect. Inspect is, brackets. Oh, interesting. So they're all in this code. Like if you look. Interesting. I bet you could probably use that to, like, determine what it means. Stick dot zone, mouse. Mute locator. Intent. First interaction logged. Okay, I can smell, I can lick, I can touch. Okay, so I can lick the bookshelf. Sawdust. Okay. I can lick. Repeated interest bookshelf. Reason end. Touch. Approached and did not touch. Approach avoidance. Decision tree returns empty. The object is right there. Act. Touch, smell. Frontal loop is stuck. Attention won't release the target. Critical sound processing hierarchy. Source localized. Stuck. Interesting. Transmission is the 30 seconds on single point. The object will not let go. Flimsy shelves. Touch. Like. This is so interesting. Okay, what else do we got? So bed, we can smell. Cedar. We can lick. Synthetic salt. The sweat. A dent in the foam, the bedding is unruffled. Okay. Oh. There was something else there. So what is it that they want you to do in this game again? So we are apparently an investigative. So we're blind. This is our entire existence. This is all we can do. So we're effectively moving around a space, and we're trying to figure out. We're trying to solve a case. But the weird thing is, so this is like a weird psychedelic psychological game. So we're getting this broken text log where we're talking to somebody and the text doesn't make any sense. Like there's parts of it does, but then it says something like nobody likes a weird womb or something like that, and it's like you get weird text like that and it's like, okay, what's happening? And then we're getting weird interactions with the sidebar where it's talking about like, oh, attention is fixed on this object for too long. Oh, interesting. Can I jump? Decision tree. Return object is right. Their act. Competing right to memory. Incident closed. Angle. Wait, there was something... Competing writing to Engram 3847 detected. Okay, like memory. I can like jump. Okay, so I have to like memorize the layout of where everything is, because so far we've only been able to see a bed and a bookshelf, so there's something else here. This is weird. Okay, we have bookshelf again. Yeah, this is interesting. The bed. So we have options. We can touch, we can smell, and we can lick. What are you hoping to find? I don't know. Yeah, we're getting like strange messages. Okay, now it makes more sense with the tasking on the bookshelf. Yeah. Okay. So we're like finding out information about the object, but there's like something is weird with this though. It's like there was kind of okay, exit cabin. That's our goal. We want to exit the cabin, so we got to find the door. So where's the door? Okay, bookshelf. Hold on. There was one thing here that was blind eye. What does that give us? Okay, that changes the effect. I actually like the effect that it gives us, so I'm gonna do that. Oh, armchair! We have a new item. Very exciting. Okay, intense. Let us lick the armchair. Smell the armchair. Musty textile. Frontal lobe is stuck. Attention won't release the target. Touch. Soft. Can I sit in the armchair? Okay, poster. Touch. Won't release. Cortisol-induced neuroplasty disrupts the baseline profile. Okay. Numb. Scratch below by 4 hands. 811 188 numb. Interesting. Blue bitter under the tongue, the ridges of letters. Touch. What are you hoping to find? I don't know. I don't know what I'm hoping to find. It's the bed again. There's a map. Touch. Stiff paper. Lick. It's getting mad at us if we don't move on. Old cellulose. Okay. Okay, so that's the bed. Let's go further over here. Bookshelf. Wardrobe. Okay, we're getting a better layout of everything. Okay, reading normal, incident close. Lick. You're licking the equipment again. This is being logged. Okay. There's the fridge. Touch. Touch. Lick. Smell. Icy plastic. Armchair. We've already looked at that. Armchair again. There's the map. So where's the door? We're clearly missing the door. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, we're getting there. Maybe this is how we get out? Okay. Old cellulose, so those are old leaves on the bed. Oh, there's the poster. Where? How do we get out? Here's the book. Okay, that's to let us know we're stuck on something. Desk. Okay, this is new. Touch. We're not laminate. Okay. A varnished film. Desk. Armchair. Well, obviously, I don't know where I'm going. Map. Okay. So, where is the exit? How do I determine that? There's the armchair, fridge, desk, bed, books. Where am I going? Okay, hold on. I'm stuck there. This is definitely not the one of the fancy models they were talking about. I thought we were in for the rich kind, the one with actual vision mode activated for the first time. Vision mode. What? Wait. 517. Okay, we might have 517. So this is 17. So, hold on. 614. It's changing. Okay, that's going up. Oh, I see. Okay, that accesses the log. Okay. So I'm guessing that helps us with, like, determining where things are? 117. Where am I supposed to go? Horizon. That's an interaction with that. So obviously buttons that I'm not aware of. Hold on. Stick dead zone. Text. Full screen. Blind eye simulator. Locate volume. Locator volume. Is there supposed to be sound? What's up? How are you doing, Squiddo? Okay, 12:12. Oh, utility sync. That's something that's new. Touch. Smell. 50 interactions. Attention to detail. Lick. Reason? There's the shower. We could use the shower. Touch. Smell. Lick. Why are we looking that? I don't know. So, hold on. The utility sink isn't something that we knew about. So maybe this is a new area. Part. Okay, that's a wall. There's a desk. That's the fridge. It's all stuff. Oh, toilet. Toilet is something we have not discovered yet. That is completely new. Where's the toilet? Where's the toilet? Bookshelf. Hold on. We're slowly getting there. Just takes a little bit. Oh wait. Open. We finally did it. Oh crap. Where the freak are we going? Clearance failure. Entered into your file. Okay. Open. Interesting. Calibration error. Open. Oh. You are human. Door open. Okay, what's the game? So this is Commutator. This is a game where you're basically playing as someone who has no sense of hearing or sight because a bunch of terrorists decided to poison the entire world. You froze. So we're basically, the government was like, in all their, glory, decided to give everyone neural links. So this is the best we got. So this is what we get to see. Okay. Open the mop room door. Grab the netnick and open the first cabin. Okay, they mentioned the netnick. I don't know what the netnick is, but okay. So I guess we're just gonna feel around. Control weekend. Alright, what can we feel around for? Because I'm just kind of looking. Okay, poster. What's this poster of? Smooth film corners full of pinholes. Smell. Lick. Is that poster again? What are you hoping to find? I don't know. So we're looking for the utility closet. Okay. To find the netnick or the neatnick? I don't know if that's like a cleaning supplies or something. Monster? I have no idea. Okay, we're clearly going the wrong way. Alright. Well, we found a poster. So that is very good. I'm very proud of us. Ah, okay, so we found a cabin. It's closed. Warm. A hair in the seam. Okay. Smell. Okay, interesting. So we found a cabin that's closed. We can't go in there right now. But that was at 20. Okay, hold on. So I probably should mark this down. Can we find the cabin again? I don't think it was this far away. Where did the cabin go? Dang it, why is this so hard? Okay. Okay, this is a different cabin entirely. Touch. Inventory is another department job. You'll get to work. Okay, so, actually, that's good information to know. Interesting. So, hold on. I want to screenshot this and mark it on the document. Hold on. I don't know a good, reliable way of doing this at all, actually. Besides just being like, hey, it's 328 Northwest. I don't know how I'm going to be able to find this again. But I don't know. Right to... Wait. Unauthorized right to protected personality profile region. Interesting. Why is that? What did I find? We are gonna find this utility closet, guys. I know this is riveting gameplay, but this is interesting to me. I'm not sure. I don't know where I am, and that's kind of scary because I don't know. I don't know. We're walking. We're going. Okay. So we found something. Okay. This is low-key interesting. I mean, it is to me. Okay, so we're finding. So that's like an instance where we found like a wall. There's clearly a building or something here. What is it though? Because like there could be like a monster here and we don't even know it. We're blind. We don't know. We have to rely on government technology that might be filtering our messages and like confusing us. I don't know. Okay. This is corridor sector 1. I can lick it. Okay, so let me go ahead and see if I can find this place again. Okay. See if there's any other ways to get in. Because we're looking for the utility closet. No. Oh, we're locked in. Okay, there's something here. What is it? Oh. Okay. Come on. I lost it. I don't know. Dang it. And it's like, how can you... I don't know how to map this. There's no like sense of direction. I just have to kind of like blindly follow. I'm looking at these messages. Audio, her break. Consolidation patterns. Interesting. Okay. And I have a feeling things are going to change as we go on. But I don't know when those changes are going to occur. But this seems like a much bigger area. So I'm a little bit scared. I hope we can find the utility closet. Come on. Okay, there's a building here. Okay. Ten times you changed your mind? Indecision. What does that mean? Okay, can't move. Okay, sliding off. Okay, there's something here. Clearly. Building. Alright, what is this? Okay. I don't know, I haven't seen any entrances to this one, so I'm like just kind of looking for one to see what it is. It seems pretty big. Maybe this is where we need to go. Okay, maybe we need to go... Okay, we can't go any further there. Interesting. Okay, I wonder... Okay, hold on. I think we might be just going the very wrong direction of this. It's not letting me go anywhere else. Wait a second. Am I doing anything? I'm a little bit worried that I'm not. Okay, wait, hold on. Found a name. Flashed on screen for a second. Where did it go? I think that was the cabin we came out of, though. Bar. Okay, we have bar. Come on. Okay, there's a wall there. Wait, what? Did you see that? It says, I never left. Hold on. Forgetting progress is faster than recording defect. What was that? Was that charged by something? I don't know. That was interesting. I never left. What does that mean? And then it changed immediately. LTP. Okay, that's a wall. Utility closet. Ah, we found it. Okay. You are human. That's strange. Why does it need to specify that I'm human? What does that imply? Okay. Well, aren't we just hunky-dory? Where do we go now? How big is this utility closet? Okay, that's a wall. Ah, washing machine. Touch. Smell. Lemon. What are you hoping to find? Just looking, just analyzing what I can, you know? I'm being thorough. Ooh. Come on. Clothes dryer. Touch. Contact locked. Subject persists. My prediction is that they're going to be an AI that takes over your Neuralink. That would be interesting. That's kind of like replaced a little bit. Yeah, that could absolutely be. It's interesting though that they say like, "Are you human?" That makes me think that there are like subjects that potentially aren't human. We know there's like apparently like a cult that is calls themselves the White Warriors, which, quite frankly, just sounds like to like a KKK white racist group, the White Warriors. But I don't think that's the intention. I think it's supposed to be a scary cult, not that historic, you know, thing. That's very, very bad. No, I think just like the first thing I thought of. White Warriors, I'm like, oh. No. I don't think that's what they're going for. But yeah, so the White Warriors are supposed to be these cultists that are convinced that the government's out to get them, and you probably utility closet. Now I'm in the utility closet, so I don't need that. I guess I investigated that part. Let's just keep going. I thought that was really funny though. Mop and buckets. Touch. Smell. Lick. Reason. Sounds like a group of racist middle schoolers. Yeah, that's okay, we got the mop and bucket, but it's really focusing on the mop and bucket. I think we're going in circles. I think that's why. Okay. Imagine everything just turns into mop and bucket. Oh, yes! Rig. Equip. Touch. Lick. Equip. Alright. Back to where we came from. We gotta exit the utility. If we can ever find the exit, my gosh. Oh, hold on. There was something there. Cleaning container. Recycle. Recycling. Intent. What are we doing here? Mass. Is this a little minigame? Intent. Wait. Interesting. Probably not the best. But you know what? We did a thing and we were rewarded for it, seemingly. Yeah. But there were several incidences where it seems like that the White Warriors, or like that group, were trying to stop the implants from being put in. And they started talking a lot of weird nonsense. But potentially not nonsense. I don't know. It could be one of those kind of games. What was that? What did that say? Clean, robot vacuum. Recycle. Recycled. Reconstruct. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if we need something for that? Well, I would imagine that... Hold on. Maybe they are onto something. Maybe the Neuralink does something to you. It is very possible. I think with these kind of stories, I think it's very, very possible. I am curious what the ARG element of it is going to do. Because already we have one member that's linked up that is in queue. Wait, hold on. What did that say? Floor cleaner. No, I don't want that. I just want to escape this terrible place. Let me out. Mop. Okay, I feel like we're getting close. Utility door open. All right. Alright, we are open. We are human. Alright, so we have exited the utility closet and have the items, I believe, necessary. Unless I'm completely wrong and we actually need to go back. Okay. Washer machine. Wait. Did we not leave? I thought we left. It seems I may have been mistaken. I don't think sniffing around. Stay on task. The next two cabins after yours are empty. Opening the first. Interesting. Cook's room. Okay. The next two cabins are empty. Okay. So is that talking about something that's like immediately in front of us? Okay. Cam is critically reduced. Mimic, welcome. How are you doing? Hope you are doing well. Okay, we aren't supposed to be there. Trying to figure out where the border is, though. Good, very good. That's awesome. I have work. I don't have work in the morning, so I can stream today and hopefully tomorrow. So I'm excited. I've been wanting to play this game. I've been thinking about Commutator for the last day, ever since we played Commutator Apply.com. Just because it seems like such an interesting world, and this game is really interesting so far. It feels very Iron Lung, but a lot more complicated, because the whole idea is that your sensory is all messed up. So you're relying on this like neural piece of technology that is like effectively a small little brain. Why does Captain Clark and Yellow Rabbit have the same intro? I don't know. It's pretty interesting, though. We're trying to find Cook's room. Good God help us. I might not be able to stay long. Hey, that's alright. Just having you here, that's all that matters. We've been getting some weird messages on this side. It seems to be recording all of our levels and talking about, like, judging us for all our lack of direction. It's very, I don't know. Very judgy. But we're trying to find Cook's room, and we're struggling a little bit, but I have a feeling we will find it eventually. It's just a matter of time. Nope, that's a wall. How long do you usually stream for? It depends. Is Mimic realistic? I mean, maybe. Potentially. I mean, it is well designed. It depends. If I'm having a good time and we got chatters and, you know, we're chatting it up, I might go for a good 4 to 6 hours. You know, I'd be alright with that. Typically, though, it's about 2 to 3. Some of the streams, if you look on, are about like an hour to 2 hours. You know, you get a stream. Oh, I see what you see. Attempt to alter pain sensitivity threshold. Again, we're getting another one of those messages that are seeping through. I see what you see. That's interesting. Because the last message was, oh, what was it? Oh, crap, it went so fast that I couldn't get a hold of it. But that's, again, it came up with another one. Attempts to alter pain. Whoa. What the heck? Nope. Wait. Notebook. That changed. Was that not like a major change? Intent. Wait, hold on. 10 restore rollback operations. Wait, restore. Intent. Reconstruct. Okay. Notebook. Interesting. Bro, the government is watching what you're doing through your Neuralink. I mean, I believe that's probably what's happening here. But they're like, it's weird, right? Because it's like, okay, so they tried to stage this whole terrorist attack, apparently, to blind everyone and effectively put them in the state so that they could offer them this piece of technology. And obviously, I mean, from a play of like a government that's trying to like control its people, that kind of makes sense, right? But it seems like there's more to it. Like there's something that's like kind of maybe potentially sort of maybe supernatural element to it. I don't know. That has yet to reveal itself, but there seems to be more. Okay, so it said the first 2 cabins are empty. I don't think we ever found Cook's cabin whenever we were wandering around. That's Crook's office. I don't think that's not what we're looking for, though. Okay. Trunk's office. Or an AI. I'm still sticking by that to my grave. That's a fair assumption, though. Paper, tobacco, interesting. Man loves his tobacco. Come on. Okay, here it is. Alright. Cream antiseptic. Powder salt. Okay, we have another building here. Okay, there's the building. Mechanical room. Okay, so we're getting a sense of it. A sense of what to do here. Okay, we found another building. Okay, there it is. What were the Steel Wool teasers I missed? So there was another one that came on the page that they released on Twitter. That was of a sort of... It was like one of those staff bot, Showtime thing. I forgot what it's called. But it was just like a teaser that featured what seemingly was like Monty's glasses, like a bunch of glasses. It was another choose the difference, or like words aren't working right now, and I don't understand why. But you can watch earlier on where I talk about it. But they were pretty interesting. I don't know. Visual Cortex V1 and V4 broken. Color perception is in question. Interesting. Okay. We got something here. Potentially. Come on. At least give me a hint as to what it is. Also, I wonder if the visuals give me some sort of hint as to where I'm going. You know? Like any like visual hint? I'm not quite sure. Oh, bar. Okay. I somewhat know where I am. Though that makes me more confused, because I feel like... I don't know. There's one of the cabins. I don't know if it's the first or the second one. That was, closed. I guess let me just walk in this direction and see where I end up. Oh, that's a wall. Maybe it's saying I've already been here. Come on. Okay, it's pushing me. There's like something over there though. Come on. Okay, something's pushing me there. If this were to happen, I would want a Neuralink that had a camera built in and would send its live feed in the form of signals to your brain. I mean, yes, that is available to the rich and the wealthy, but not to us. Now, we get the poor models, because guess what? We get it for free. So, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You deal with your blindness, alright? And just think about this, like, this is what people that are actually blind have to deal with. Like, a lot of it's not, like, actual pitch black darkness, which I think is what this filter is trying to simulate, is the idea that it's, like, the grayishness. I think it's literally trying to simulate the idea of, like, what it actually feels like to be blind, which is interesting. Depolarization. Implicit memory inconsistencies with declarative memory remembers differently. The object, okay, the object is right there. Interesting. Said the object was right there. Near death state. Dang. That's rough. It's gotten me bad at this game. It seems like I'm not doing very well when it says that. But, like, I don't know how to play this game correctly. That's the bar again. Okay, so we're back here. That's bad. That means we went in a big old circle. I see what you see. Interesting. Party surveillance identifier unknown. So what is your main goal? Well, right now we're trying to find Cook's room, but my gosh, Cook's room is in the void. Alright, so I don't know where the heck we're supposed to be going. I think I'm supposed to be focusing on the coordinates, but, like, my brain can't freaking pick all this up. I'm trying my best. Okay. Infirmary. This is a new room. Okay. This is a new place. Let us see what other exciting new things are in this area. Come on. Well, the infirmary. Crunch's cabin, which we've we've already been here. We've already been here a lot. So I have made a, I don't know, we keep going in circles and I keep missing the place that I need to go. That's Crunch's cabin. Okay. Pattern generalization process broken. Each experience processed in isolation. That does tend to be what's happening, actually. It's pretty ridiculous. I should figure out some sort of strategy. Okay, so that's a different cabin. I don't know. I don't know what my interest is in there. So there's the infirmary. What is after this? What is after this? Come on. Corridor. So that's one we've seen before, but not necessarily this time. Resets every 11 minutes. Okay. So, we are back at the bar. Where do we go? Anxiety suppression task. That's so accurate to what's happening right now. Oh my gosh. It's reading my mind. There's the bar. Yes. What if we just went to the bar, okay? I know we're trying to make it, but like, listen, I don't know if I was built for this life. This is actually pretty difficult. I'm like trying my best out here, but like, it's clearly right there, but I'm missing it. Okay. Engine won't release the target. Why did you stop? Why did you stop? Interesting. Why did I stop? Cook's room! Guys! Let's touch it. Hard surface, featureless. Smell. Station air is pure regulation. Stay on task. Lick. Open. I am human. We made it! We are getting through. Okay. So. Incoming call. Incoming connection. Alright. Oh, hold on. Name. New name. Capture. Okay. You're working for me today. Sorry. Okay, now we're gonna get some weird messages here. What do you have to say for yourself? I'm genuinely being turned inside out. Okay. A date, boom bap. Boom bam. These messages are so fascinating. What do you mean when you say these things, okay? Like I genuinely do not understand. But I am here to listen, and I'm not here to judge. Okay. And what are we saying? This feels like maybe an In a Dream barbecue situation, where it's like the things that they are saying are not what they are actually saying. Don't want to tell her. They're tasty. Better than this than losing them. A date? Boom bam. Don't want to tell her they're tasty, better than losing them. What does that mean? Yeah, quarantine obviously, but do you think it's worth it? I don't know what you're talking about. What is that? There's something under here. Maybe you changed your mind. This is so interesting. Okay. Right here is where we need to screenshot. And that's with the bug coming from outside, where even spirit freezes solid. You think this was really necessary? Okay, here. I don't think so. Exhausting. Can we talk a bit later? Remember the intern? Want to know a secret? How I found out he had them? A real secret. They were on his face. And when I climbed into the breaker room, everything there was covered in that goo. Okay, I don't think so. I'm exhausted. I touched his face once. I left for a minute and I have a hunch that I missed something. If you don't think any of this makes sense, there's some weird stuff going on. Maybe the quarantine's because of his slime. What is happening? I'm so intrigued. It's definitely him. Maybe there was something else too? So there was something on his face. Oh, we're quite talkative there. Maybe the Oh, I know. You're a master of destruction. Just don't go digging for the sources. Interesting. In liquid we arrive, in liquid we depart. Yeah, I won't keep you. I'll write the instructions when it's time. Gonna go back. Okay, hold on. Interesting, this one doesn't have a time. I'm being torn apart. I don't like that. What do you mean? We didn't get a... Oh, we did get a name, actually. So, hold on. We can put in... I forgot we don't need everything for that one. So, we got... For that message, we got the screenshot, so we have everything for that. Oh, man, that's so interesting. That's not what I want. I don't know why it keeps... Okay, so the name was Low Mauve. And the email was not in this message. In the first one we got it though. It was oh yeah, it was this one. Open with okay. It was Lomov at comtechultra.com. Okay, we got it. Can we do anything with this? I wonder if we can send them messages in real life? I don't know. Okay. Ingle. Flippers. Desk. Enter the website in Google could be a hint. Well, the website's there. I already have it pulled up. I can show it to you in a minute. But commentatoropply.com, it's a part of the ARG element to it. Recycle. I can recycle the toilet. Isn't that great? Smell. I don't know why I would want to do that. Reconstruct. Toilets. Okay. Is there anything else here? Step back. Okay. Shower. Shower. We can recycle. What does it mean to recycle? Oh, I can, like, expand it. Interesting. Have I been doing this wrong the entire time? Interesting. Oh, restored. Maybe I've been playing that minigame the whole time wrong. Oh my gosh. I feel so stupid. Okay, wardrobe. Recycle. Intense. So I can, like, expand it, move it around. Recycled. Okay. These 60%, 70, 80. So it's maybe the size. Oh, it's almost there. Okay. So we have bed. Half back open bag. Touch. Smell. Recycle. Construct. Store. Talking clock. Wait, hold on. What? Wait. Talking clock. What do you... Can we go back to the talking clock? Talking clock. What's the talking clock, man? Hold on. Recycle that, I suppose. Hold on. No losses. Interesting. We restored it. Clock restored. Half empty wardrobe. Bookshelf. Bed. Video recorder. Okay, didn't want us to do that one. Object restored. What can I do with it now? Warm battery. Okay. I'm the last man standing, bro. That's alright. I appreciate you being here, honestly. I know this isn't the most, Oh, okay, incoming call. Crap. what horror is gonna come for us now. Poly 1305. Oh, interesting. Cha-Cha 20 Poly. It's a cipher. Host fingerprint. Okay. Yeah, I can see it on the telemetry. Listen, don't chat with Llama. These shifts written off, and you're doing the work of two. We won't make it. It sounds rather somber. He drove himself into that psychological state with his own actions and ideas. He started asking to. Nobody forced him to think and do what he's been up to these past weeks. Oh, so he's been up to no good. Interesting. There's something on the bottom there. Interesting. I don't know if that's... Is it endless bar poisoning and so on, obviously. Think he's capable of more? Is that just the lie that they want us to believe, though? Oh, we have a lot to say about that, don't we? That's for sure. Oh, interesting. Huh. Clean mechanics room. So do we leave? What did you think of the Backrooms movie? Oh, I absolutely loved it. I mean, I could talk about the Backrooms literally all day. I mean, it was so good. I really, really enjoyed the full experience and the story that it was trying to tell. Oh, mechanics room. Okay. Oh, hold on. Mechanics room. Intent. Open. We're human. Alright. Where did it go? Yeah, I love that Kane left the ending up for debate. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of, like, very weird things about it that I really enjoy. I love weird stuff like that, so it's like... I don't know. Okay, we keep coming back to that cabin. Did we miss something? I thought we were in Cook's room, not the mechanics. So... interesting. Bar. Okay, all that's locked. I think we need to go back where we were before. Not there. Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on one moment. Get myself some water. Alright. Thank you so much for coming in. Probably be streaming tomorrow. I'm probably gonna end off, anyways pretty soon, to be honest. Oh, dang. My chair is actively breaking. That's, very unfortunate. Yeah, let me see, where we are. Oh, dang. Alright. Let me see, we've been playing for 2.5 hours. That's not bad. I don't know if this has, like, a save state. I don't know if it has that kind of, like, saving progress. I don't know. But we'll see. Alright, but I'm probably gonna log off for right now because I'm getting pretty tired. But, this is interesting. I definitely want to play this. I don't know if we'll play it like too much on stream, just because it is a little bit of an interesting but like very, I don't know, it's hard to describe, you know. But I definitely want to play it. It reminds me a lot of Repose in a lot of ways. I mentioned that earlier about the style of the visual novel, but Repose was a game that I really enjoyed. I think it was Repose that I'm thinking of. That was very unique in this way. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time.